The weather crawls that you see from time to time, severe thunderstorm warning, severe thunderstorm watch, those kinds of things. It's a crawl that goes across the bottom of the screen. And we're going to be live for this hearing. It's going to be in the evening so people get there. And I have a headset on, and I hear Mickey say, "What earthquake warning?" And it got my attention real fast, and I said, "Mickey, what's going on?" And he said, "One of your SDs just ran an earthquake warning as a crawl." What? Of course, then the thing that you were doing there got going. What you need to know is there was a blizzard warning, and that was the basis of what was supposed to go in. It was during Mr. Rogers' neighborhood, and the fun part about it was the Indiana Daily Student ran the story the next day, and they headlined it with, "There goes the neighborhood."
On one of our very first shows, we partnered with the 4-H organization because that's a fantastic organization in Southern Indiana. I had this little girl come in and bring a piglet. She was raising pigs, right? And so she's, again, why I thought kids and animals all on live TV was a good idea, I don't know, but I did. And so I said to her, we're almost out of time, but tell me, what is your favorite thing about raising pigs? And they're looking at this adorable little piglet with its little nose. And she goes, "Oh, the meat." Here I am, the city girl, going, "What a cute little piggy." And, here's the kid with like the real perspective in her life.
I think the biggest variety that I remember was one summer I had a week where I was shooting the international harp competition, which was the first time that it had ever been in the United States. It was a really big deal. And I want to say later that week I was at the Monroe County Fair in the goat barn trying to not step in things that the goats had provided for us.
WTIU was what actually got me through school. If I had not been working at TIU, I would have left school, I'm sure of it. Gave me the ability to mesh and to work with a number of different personalities at any one time. You never want to generalize and say producers are this way or directors are that way, but it did fall into that category at times.
The owner of the property where we have the transmitter site put some trees around the building to kind of disguise the bland white look of it. And there was several years where we had problem with squirrels climbing around on the transformers, and they would get on the high voltage line and blow a fuse on the transformer. You never know when you might be called in for a problem.
I always say fundraising for public media is the easiest job because people love the programming and people love what they hear. So all you have to say is like, okay, why don't you become a member? But of course you have to say, why don't you become a member like 200 times? To this day, the best trick I learned from Eva with Pledge is feed the crew. As long as you have something to eat, they will help you to the end of time.
I'm amazed at how many times I run across Indiana University graduates and people who worked at WTIU, whether it be dealing with CNN, NBC, Olympics, Fox Sports, you always come across people who have touched and worked at WTIU.
Some of my peers and I always joke about, we don't have a master's or PhD, but those times are sort of our postdoctorate work where we really grew to what felt like another level.
Every town and every place I moved after WTIU, my first thing to do is check my local PBS station and check my NPR station.
It's easy to funnel and get all of your media from just a few mouthpieces, and I don't think that's telling the complete story. Some of it is subtle. You want to hear the accents that you grew up with. You want to connect with people on that level, and some of it is not subtle. I think people on the coasts and in larger cities forget that there's this whole other middle part of the country that might have a different perspective.
It never was a job where I dreaded to come to work. I've had jobs where you're just hoping to get past Wednesday and then Friday so you have a weekend. Well, that wasn't an issue here.
The fact that they do it for the love of what they're doing, and actually too for the freedom to do the kinds of things that commercial broadcasting won't touch.
My work at WTIU is like my lighthouse. And whenever I deviate or get out of that light, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right.
Honestly, I'm just grateful. I'm really grateful that I got to be part of the WTIU family, and I think of WTIU as my start, and And I'm very thankful, and I'm so excited, and I'm happy for them with their celebrations, and I'm raising a glass in spirit and wish I could be there.
Happy 50th anniversary, WTIU.
Happy 50th anniversary.
Happy birthday, WTIU.
Happy birthday, WTIU! Woohoo!
Happy 50th birthday, WTIU, and happy anniversary. You've been good.